Yes, guys, hello. Welcome back to the Spurs Related YouTube channel and podcast. I hope you're having a very nice start to your weekend and looking forward to the Spurs game tomorrow. And as always, we have got alongside us Andre of SpursRelated. Andre, how you doing, mate?
I'm doing great. Hoping for a better match tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. We need to put the Wednesday in the past, look forward, and put things right, as you said. Yeah, just absolute shambles on Wednesday, but first things first, kicking off with an interesting question to get in the mix of things. Who would you drop from Wednesday's game, and who would you bring in to the side, and what kind of side do you want to see? It's a tough start for you, Andre. I hope you're prepared, but yeah, that's what we're going with.
This might be a very easy answer here, hopefully, but I would drop Winks for Bentancur. That's needed 100%. I did not like how his performance was, and I especially wasn't a fan of dropping Højbjerg in and bringing him in. I just think Winks, when the pressure's on, the man loses his cool, he loses his head, and just starts making the same mistakes and going back to his usual play from before, which is pass back, pass to the side, lose the ball, bad first touch. Yeah, I could name so many things. And then all due respect, though, because at the end of the day, he is a Tottenham player, and I will always back a Tottenham player until they're not. So, I hope that he starts performing better. But I just think that right now, the way that things are, the pressure's on. We've put ourselves in a situation where, honestly, whenever that Arsenal game comes up, if Arsenal continue in the form they're at, that game's going to be so crucial for top four.
Yeah, you're spot on. Whenever
Bentancur is my man. I think he needs to start.
Yeah, exactly. Whenever that is rearranged, exactly that Arsenal game could be absolutely key. Army is in here as per usual, and he's in here saying, "Play me on Sunday at right wing back. I'll put in some cheeky crosses to H." I love that, mate. I absolutely love that. Emerson's getting a lot of hate, by the way. Emerson is getting a lot of stick online, and I don't think that's right. I mean, he's played 20 games for Spurs, maybe not even that. It's just people are quick to jump to conclusions. Like with Harry Winks, it's no surprise. We've had him for like how many years, but come on, like Emerson was awful on Wednesday. There's no getting around that. But people are saying they're going to get rid of him already. Like at least give him a season, surely. I just don't get that.
If you really saw the highlights there, or if you look back at the game, those two crosses that went in, people are blaming Emerson because he was late to get the man, but that wasn't his man to cover. That was Sanchez's man to cover.
Yeah,
right? He kept trying to cover Romero's guy, but what are you doing covering a guy who's in front of you? Like, there's no point in covering a guy in front of you because you'll just get the ball. Cover the guy behind you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then Sanchez is out there yelling at Emerson for both goals when it's not his fault. Emerson is covering a different guy further back because he's been told to push forward. And then he has to come back and cover for Sanchez, who isn't covering his man. He's just ball watching.
Yeah, absolutely spot on. Absolutely spot on. There was more problems than just Emerson. Certainly Sanchez. Certainly Winks. I thought Ben Davies had a stinker with slipping up. But let's welcome in some of the absolute legends that are in here. I mean, there's already like 15, 20 people in here, which is great stats. Lord Tantrums saying Spurs defense dreadful. Absolutely, absolutely spot on. Like the only two guys that held their head high on Wednesday was Reguilón and Romero. The rest of them were absolutely useless. Davies was shocking. Sanchez was awful. And so was Emerson, obviously. But let's hope they can, gel back together on Sunday. Wolves, obviously, a tough side to break down. We're going to get into that. But there's no reason why we can't put things right, to be honest with you. NEXY's in there. Big yourself up. He says, Alistair Gold, Eric Dyer, Jaffet Tanganga, and Ollie Skip don't play against Wolves tomorrow. Exactly that. We're going to bring you all that team news and what lineup we kind of expect. But yeah, obviously, Dyer being probably the biggest miss. Maybe Skip as well. Yeah, it's not ideal, but at least it's not Son. At least it's not Kane. At least it's not Romero. Lloris, I'd be very worried if he was injured. So, we got to take it with a pinch of salt. At least it's not these players. Joe Harris is in here from Facebook. Big yourself up. He says, I actually believe Winks has outperformed Højbjerg as of late. Royal and Sanchez were both below par against Southampton.
He's got a point. I've been one of the advocators for Winks, saying that he's stepped up. I would say on a whole nother level. Now, stepping up on a whole nother level compared to what his level was isn't that, good. But he has impressed me, and I have advocated for him. But I really thought that the way we were playing the game, the way that we were sort of allowing the players to come in, it wasn't I think very I mean, I'm not a coach, right? So I'm not gonna go and judge Conte on it, but I think he might have miscalculated taking off Højbjerg, because what that game needed was someone solid in there. The minute he took him out, he allowed a lot more of an entrance. It's almost like taking out the key. Like, it's almost like unlocking a door, right? The door's been locked, they're banging on it, you unlock the door for them the minute you take out Højbjerg. I think Winks should have come off, to be honest. He was losing the ball too often. He was having a very iffy performance, and when you took out that wall that was backing him up whenever he made mistakes, he just became even more nervous, and his performance became even poorer. So
you're absolutely spot on. Absolutely spot on. I just don't understand why Winks stayed on, Højbjerg came off, especially as Højbjerg provided that assist for the own goal. It's just, I didn't get it. We can get more into that as well. Gagetta's in here. Big yourself up, as always. Says Emerson, is he Brazilian or Bolivian?
Oh, that's
I like that.
I mean, Bolivia hasn't been doing too bad this qualifiers, but you know what it is? It's their stadium, man. Their home stadium the altitude is so high. That advantage is ridiculous.
That's brilliant. Lord Tantrum says it'll be Spurs defense that will cost top 4. I couldn't agree more. Like, we're scoring goals at the moment. We're just not keeping clean sheets, to be honest with you. Like, 3-2 against Southampton, 3-1 against Brighton. We can't keep a clean sheet at the moment.
Yeah. Well, we'd have hopefully our players up top are a little more, I would say, they're able to net the goals that that should have happened. Like, I think we could have actually won 4-3, to be honest, if Harry Kane had scored that header that was in front of the net and Reguilon finished his dinner there, as you would say.
Yeah,
at the beginning of the match.
Exactly that. Dan's in here, says, hi James. Hi Dan, how you doing? Hope you're good. Ayanami says, we always seem to be having a slow start and it's always so hard to watch. The opposition get basic tap-in opportunities, Norwich, Southampton, and maybe even Wolves tomorrow. This is what I mean. They're getting through so easily, aren't they? They're like, we saw that coming against Southampton. As soon as they sort of were just pushing for the 2-2, they got 2-2. If I had to say who's going to win that game, I would have said Southampton. They had 23 shots to our 8. They had so many more shots on goal. Reece kept us in the game for most of it.
Yeah.
It was always coming, wasn't it? It really was.
It was diving everywhere.
Absolutely. Let's get through these comments. These comments are coming in very quick. And guys, get your discussion points in, get your questions in. It always brings great talking points. So please don't be shy about asking questions because it really sets off some good ones. Looks like Ayanami's got a good point here. We always seem to have a slow start. And it's hard to... Oh, sorry, I've read that. Look, that proves that, it's a late stream today. NEXY, a Brazilian with no tech. Spurs Lives in there, big yourself up. He says no communication from the whole team led to that goal. Absolutely. And he said, never thought I'd be saying this, but I miss Dyer so much.
Yeah.
Wolves are on great form. It's going to be a tough game. Thoughts on Moura versus Southampton? I thought, obviously, other than the assist he put in for Sonny, I thought, other than that, he was absolutely quiet. That's the only reason. Sometimes he tries too hard to beat a player and then carry on and then sort of be in the limelight. He's gone off the boil a little bit recently. What do you think?
No, it's what I was saying from a while ago. And I think Conte brought that up in a press conference once, that he wants to see Lucas Moura step up. He has his moments of brilliance. He'll have his form of 2-3 games, and then he goes back to being quiet again. And it's an issue that's been almost every year. He'll always be remembered for that semifinal, but other than that, he hasn't really had a moment like that in a while. And it's hard to have a moment like that, but I haven't seen him really dominate a game the way that he normally does. But I do think that in hindsight, Lucas Moura, that game, he didn't play very well. And correct me if I'm wrong here, but he was losing the ball pretty often.
Yeah, he really was. Sorry, I didn't hear the whole of that on Jay. For some reason, I accidentally pressed reload rather than scroll down on the comments. So, that was a bit of an amateur mistake there. But I'm sure what you said there made complete sense about Lucas Moura. He hasn't had those big moments recently. And Yeah, let's hope I stay in the stream for the rest of it.
So.
End of season, ENIC have to fund a defence overhaul, and Wolves can't be underestimated. It's a really good point. Like we said it about in Southampton. Like we analysed their threats. We pretty much got it spot on. We said Broja, you got to watch out for him. We said Walker Peters, you got to watch out for him. We said James Ward-Prowse, you got to watch out for him. I think the only one we didn't cover that actually had a real influence on the game was Che Adams, who had another good game today. He scored against Man United at Old Trafford and got them a draw. And also Romeu was really good as well in that midfield with James Ward-Prowse. Yeah. So other than that, like let's analyse these key threats for Wolves and see if they do us nasty tomorrow. But it's definitely worth running these down. We're going to get into that in just a minute. Let's go through some more of these comments. Does Tottenham have hope in the top four? For me, like I'll take this way quickly. One loss doesn't mean we're not still in the top four. However, with Arsenal dropping points, West Ham dropping points, Man United dropping several points. Why on earth are these players not taking advantage of these slip-ups? Yep. Top four is wide open. Okay, Man City have got top four, obviously. They've probably won the league. Liverpool have got top four, obviously. Chelsea have probably got top four. That fourth place is up for grabs. Man United, West Ham, Arsenal, and Tottenham. It's between those four teams. I mean, you could even argue Villa might make a late push. But why are we not taking advantage of beating Southampton at home to then go into that top four with 2 games in hand? I just don't understand it. And I'm not saying it's off. I'm not saying top four is off. But tomorrow, for me, is a must-win. Yep. To reclaim our status back in that fight. If we lose 2 home games on the bounce, where arguably we should be getting 6 points out of 6, that is a real concern for me.
Yeah, you're spot on there. I thought we should have won that Southampton game, even though we were playing badly, But this game now is a must-win. That's the position we've put ourselves in. This is a must-win game, or else Wolves goes ahead of us, and at the same time, Arsenal's 3 points ahead of us, and we'll be level on points with them. We have to. This always happens. I've seen this every year. Something's wide open. It's ours to grab, and then we don't. So I'm a little nervous right now. I can't lie. I'm nervous.
Yeah, exactly that. Spurs need a decent centre half and right back, and that is it. And that's for starters. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for me, we need 2 centre backs. Okay, let's be realistic. We need 1 centre back to pair with Romero and Dyer. But let's not forget, we were calling for Dyer's head to be leaving this club a year ago. Dyer stepped up. He can play with Romero, but we need that 3rd centre-back. We've seen, and how long have I been saying it on this channel for, Andre, that Ben Davies is papering over the cracks. And we saw that yet again, where that paper was fragile. It didn't look cemented in that back 3. And he's had a stinker. He's had another stinker. And actually, no, that's not fair saying he's had another stinker, because he has stepped up under Conte. Mm-hmm. But it's paper over the cracks. Like, get us to the summer with him, okay? But we need to get a proper left centre-back in. A Sven Botman, a Pau Torres. One of these players has to come in and be that missing piece in the jigsaw to this team at the back. Then right wing back. We were looking for a right wing back in January. We didn't get Adama Traore, who apparently was going to convert as a right wing back. We were linked with a couple of others. Never came off. We're now looking at the summer. Conte's clearly not a fan of Emerson. I mean, he's probably going to start Doherty tomorrow. I would not be surprised. Doherty's not in favour either. Conte doesn't really like him. So Emerson was a Nuno signing. He's not a Conte signing. Conte will want a right wing back. That's why we were linked with Adama Traore. That's why we are now talking about this right wing back position. Like, even people in the chat saying they can be better than Emerson. This has to be eradicated in the summer and sorted.
100%.
And also, when we get rid of Winks, we need another centre mid in terms of the backup, and we need a backup striker. So that's four players we need in the summer, right?
Yeah.
That is a huge overhaul in the summer, and exactly what Tantrums said there is spot on. It's just
talking about the starting 11 too.
Yeah, absolutely. We need squad depth. 10 likes. Let's go to how many likes are we on? 10. We're on 12 now. Guys, there's 12 of you watching still. Let's push that to 20. Great point, Nexy. Spurs Live says top 6 prediction. I'm going to go with City, Liverpool, Chelsea.
You gotta put Tottenham in there, man. I mean, I would. I still believe in them. I think they can make it. But it's gonna be a close one.
I was saying fifth, but I've got to obviously be positive about this. But okay, so we City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Tottenham, Man United, Arsenal. I think West Ham will fall down that table.
Really? I think Arsenal's gonna finish above Man United at this point.
Oh, really?
I think so. Man United's been dropping points left and right. And I called it too. That Chris Armas guy that they have on there, that ex-TFC coach who's absolutely dreadful. He's going to cost them the season. He's going to cost them Champions League. He's going to cost them maybe even Europa League. Because West Ham, well, we'll see what happens with West Ham, right? That Kurt Zuma thing might have, Sean made a good point yesterday about the sort of the morale going on there now that they've shown how much he's getting paid. So we'll see. But it's gonna be a real close one. I want to put Tottenham on fourth as well. I still think we can scrape a top four, but it will be very, very close. Arsenal's real. You know, I hate talking good about Arsenal, but they have been on a decent form. They've been getting the wins, even if the wins have been close. They've been scrappy. A win's a win. But that's the kind of mentality we need too. A win's a win.
Yeah, it's true. Very true. Very true. K. Alexander, haven't seen you in here before, mate, but big yourself up. He says, "You're right, lads. I hope you're doing well as well, mate. And really nice to see you join the stream. Hope you're doing very well indeed." And I mean, with games in hand, we have to take advantage of that. Exactly that. We could be in a comfortable position if we consistently won those. Literally, what I'm saying. Like, this is what annoys me when someone asks, "Do we still think Tottenham are going to get top four?" When we perform like that on Wednesday, that's why I'm so unsure. But if we put things right and against Wolves, we make an assertive win. We sort of win like 3-0, really good performance. Everyone will be back on the top four. Right? It just it depends on the situation at the time, and we got to take advantage of these games out. And we cannot be if we get no points from 2 games at home in this week, in this double game week, that is a big problem.
Yeah. Yeah, and that changes the whole context of everything now.
The whole dynamic.
Our top four won't be in our hands anymore. It'll be on the hands of other teams dropping points, and we don't want that.
We shouldn't be having to want teams to lose to get top four. We should just be getting top four because we get more points than them. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Spurs must take advantage of games in hand, and nothing less than a win will do. Exactly, like everyone's on a wavelength there. Absolutely. Ainami says, "Look at Arsenal's summer. They spent big money and fixed the problems they struggled with so long. We have to do the same." Exactly. I mean, just look at them. Centre back Ben White, he's been pretty good. Had a couple of mistakes, but made them a better defensive unit. Obviously, their keeper Ramsdale has been out of this world. Like, he is getting so many great performances in there.
Yeah.
Clean sheet the other night. Was it a 1-0 win against? It was Wolves, wasn't it? They played.
Yeah, they beat Wolves 1-0.
Yeah. And again, he was just running the clock down, playing it really smart.
Yeah, and they did it with 10 players because Arsenal do like their cards the way they like their team colors. So
who was it that got sent off?
Martinelli this time. I thought it was gonna be Xhaka because I saw he had a yellow, and then Martinelli got the 2 yellows instead. It was from 1 foul too because he did 2 fouls in one, and then he just got 2 yellows, red 1, 2, red, gone. This is the weirdest thing. Wow. I haven't seen that in a while.
Wow. Yeah, 2 yellows in like a couple of minutes, like you said. Wow. Thoughts on Bale and Eriksen news? I think we'll save this for another video, but very briefly, I would say don't read into it too much. Conte's obviously mentioned about Eriksen, but he's just got to Brentford. Brentford are probably going to absolutely adore him. He's probably going to smash it. And don't forget, Eriksen left for a reason. He didn't want to be at Spurs. So let's not just like put our arm around him and welcome him back in. Like, for me, it's not right. It's just not right. That last 6 months said a lot. Like, he didn't even want to play for the badge in the end. And that made me kind of sad, especially as he was kind of one of my favourite players. And I don't think it's different with Bale because he really did put in a shift last year. Like, he almost wasn't used enough. Obviously, had a little bit injury concerns as always. But, like, Bale's different. He's absolutely loved by the club. Eriksen's loved by the club as well. I'm not saying that. But the way he left wasn't great. And for me, I'd rather have Bale back than Eriksen.
Yeah. No, for me, it would just depend on how much we're paying Bale, because he is getting there. He's still injury prone. That hasn't changed. Hopefully he brings a good attitude when he comes here. Oh, if he comes here, and hopefully we're not overpaying him. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on that.
Yeah, fantastic point. Yeah, the wages are going to play a big part in this. Siler Dancer THFC back in here. He says, "Evening, lads. Big yourself up, mate. I hope you're doing well and enjoying your Saturday night." So, yeah, 20 minutes into this stream, and we haven't even discussed the Wolves players yet. So let's get into things. We picked out sort of 4 or 5 players that we think are going to be a real threat tomorrow and potentially could cause us some problems. So I'll start things off, and obviously we can have a discussion in the chat and ask you questions and maybe give us your opinions on these players. But starting things off, we're going for Raul Jimenez, obviously Wolves' main threat up front. He's their joint top scorer, along with Daniel Podence and Hwang Hee-chan on 4 goals this year in all competitions. However, Raul Jimenez actually has 7 goal contributions with 3 assists in 22 games and 4 goals, which gives him a goals per 90 of 0.21 and a minutes per goal is 424, which is, 4 goals in 22 isn't the best for a striker, but the 3 assists also is quite decent. And let's not forget, Wolves weren't good at the start of this year. They've only just started to hit a bit of form. His shot accuracy is 38%, potentially, a bit off for a striker. And he's had 29 shots and scored 4. So goal conversion of 14%. Andre, what are your thoughts on Jimenez? And do you think he is going to be a threat tomorrow?
Well, whenever I see him, I will preface this by saying after the injury he had, it makes me happy to see him on the pitch.
Yeah.
That was very horrible to see. And David Luiz, man, that guy. But anyways, no, I would still watch him. He's a a good striker. And just like we said about Broja, and look who came out of the blue. Che Adams out of the blue scored, right? So Raul Jimenez already does score. If we let him score over something silly like a slip up or like the way that Davies slipped, or allowing someone to cross it in, giving them seconds to cross it in like that, giving Moutinho or Neves an opportunity to cross, when even I'm sure all of you, before the Southampton game started, knew you need to watch Ward-Prowse, and we allowed him twice to just cross the ball in there, like a training game where they're giving him a chance to cross it in. We're gonna have problems.
Yeah, exactly. We've got to watch out for these players that potentially aren't on form as well, but can obviously score a goal. We're knowing that Jimenez has better goal records in previous seasons. And this guy, he's a good player. He's a good little player. He works hard. He's good in the air as well. He's a good all-round player, to be honest with you, in terms of forward. He's fairly tall. He can cause a threat.
From set pieces.
Personally, I think he'll do, but I think the midfielders will. I think this is about Eriksen. But going back onto the topic of Wolves, I would just say watch out for Jimenez. Like, the guy knows where the goal is. Yes, 38% shot accuracy. Could argue otherwise, but he's an experienced striker. I think we just need to watch out for him, to be honest with you.
Yeah. He's tall, so those set pieces that we suck at defending, gotta watch out even more now. Guy will pick out the ball from wherever he is in the box.
Yeah, absolutely. Andre, do you want to take the next player away that we should be watching out for tomorrow?
Well, Daniel Podence, he put in a good shift in the Arsenal game the other day. Yep. I saw him there. He was running. He was getting fouled all the time. That was the only reason why he wasn't really getting in the box too much. But I will say 4 goals, 2 assists. He's joined with Raul Jimenez on goals, so I would definitely watch out for him as well. He sort of had to step up ever since Hotel left. So definitely, he's got the number 10 shirt, if I believe. So that's a good indicator.
Hotel?
Pardon?
Who did you say left?
Diogo Jota to Liverpool.
Oh, Jota, right? Got you.
Sorry,
that's your Portuguese pronunciation. Sorry, I thought you said hotel.
Okay, but 100%. I would watch out for him too. Podence, sneaky guy.
Got you. So just to mention the players that won't play tomorrow: Skip, Dyer, and Tanganga for Spurs are all confirmed out by Alistair Gold of Football London. And who will not play for Wolves? Mosquera, Willy Bolly, Pedro Neto, who's a very good player, and João Matinho is questionable for tomorrow. So they have got a couple of good players out as well. We got to be said. I know he said we got to watch out for Ruben Neves scoring a worldie. Southampton were allowed to have way too many long shots. Yeah, spot on.
Yeah.
Echo your thoughts. Ruben Neves, he loves the shot from range, and he's very experienced in scoring these as well. He scored an absolute banger. I remember, like maybe 3 or 4 seasons ago, that was unbelievable. I think it won goal of the season. Like, it was unbelievable strike. That volley. I don't know if you remember it.
Oh yeah, I think it was against Hull City.
Yeah. It's just ridiculous the way it swerved. But no, back on track. I think Podence, he's a small player. He's very good on the ball, good at dribbling, got a nice shot on him, causes problems, causes threats. And do you know what, with Podence, the thing that worries me the most? Spurs defenders were watching Southampton go through them the other day. If we let this guy get any kind of room, he's going to dribble straight through us with absolute ease. He is a menace. He will run you down. And these Spurs players got to be touch tight on this guy tomorrow. They really do.
Yeah. I love that you said he's a menace, but 100%.
He's Dennis the Menace, but he's not. He's Daniel the Menace. Daniel Podence.
Yeah, Daniel Podence. I'm like I said, I'm worried about this game. The way the shift that we put in for Southampton was diabolical, to say the least. So 100%, this is a much better side normally. So, but again, it is on the day. But yeah, and what I want to go back to is actually Neves. Yeah, I'm worried about him too. He's a good midfielder, and he's known for those long shots. And for some reason, we suck at covering for those.
Yep, absolutely. We have to have Lloris right on his A game tomorrow, 100%. Simply I said, hello lads, I'm concerned about this game. Our defense is bloody awful, and our wing backs can't cross. Yeah, literally what we've been talking about, to be honest with you, mate. That right wing back position, it's going to be interesting. Will he play Doherty? Will he play Emerson? Emerson had a stinker on Wednesday. I think he's going to tinge up. I think Bentancur's coming in. I think Doherty's coming in. I think we're going to play a 3-4-3 with Lloris in goal. The back three of Romero, Sanchez. See, does he play Davies or does he put in Rodon?
I mean, I would just go with Davies, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Davies.
I don't know if he's willing to risk it with Rodon right now.
Yeah, he's obviously not trusted Rodon all this time as well. I think it'll be Sanchez, Romero, and Davies as the back three, with Reguilon on the left. That's not up for question. I just think I can see Doherty on the right wing back. Centre mids, I can see Bentancur and Højbjerg. I think Winks will get dropped, and I think it will be a case of Lucas will keep his spot with Son and Kane up top. I think that really will be the front three. I don't know what you think.
No, I agree with that. I wouldn't really change too much except the Bentancur one, like I said at the beginning. I think we just need those saucy passes, like that long pass he made to Lucas Moura. Oh my God. I didn't even think that was going to make it because I'm not used to seeing those passes. Bentancur, when he came in, remember that pass he gave to Lucas Moura through all of those players? I'm not used to seeing that. I didn't think that was going to get to him.
That's what we need in there. Alexander's in here, says steak as always. He loves coming in and saying steak. Hope you've had a nice steak and chips for your dinner tonight. Treated yourself on a Saturday, Alex. Absolutely spot on. Bergwijn should be given a chance at right wing back. I don't know. That one's up to question. Not for me.
Yeah, I don't think so. I'd say just keep him as a super sub again.
Yeah, or work his way back into the team. He's got his start against Chelsea, played all right. Maybe you could argue he's right on the hunt for that Lucas spot at the moment.
Yeah, I'd say some of his best performances are when he comes off the bench, to be honest.
Yep. Yeah. By the way, Simply A's big yourself up for replying in the community section today. I put out on a community section earlier. I said, who wants to have a Spurs v Wolves preview tonight around 9? And 8 people thumbs it up. So big yourselves up, guys. And like I said, on this community section now, we're going to be doing a lot more interacting with you guys. We'll do some polls. We'll let you guys know when we're live, what content you want to see next. So on the YouTube channel, go on our channel and go on the community section. We'll be interacting a lot more there. we'll post on there literally every day. Just go and have a look, guys. And yeah, like I said, if you're still in the video, hit the thumbs up and subscribe if you're new. But back to the players, Andre. We're going to review a couple more, aren't we? I'll kick things off on this one. I'm going to say, I was actually going to say the next player we should be obviously looking out for is that man, Ruben Neves in midfield. 2 goals this season, 1 assist in 23 games. But let's not forget he's a centre mid. And he's just an absolute brilliant player. Loves a shot. Like, if you think about it, 23 shots. Jimenez has had 29 and Podence has had 22. So Neves has had more than a winger. That's how much he likes to shoot.
Yeah,
just need to be careful.
Well, especially if it's Neves combination with Moutinho.
Yeah, exactly that. But Moutinho, I think, is questionable to play. But let's see how that pans out. But yeah, we kind of covered Neves already. But I just say watch out for this guy. He can really dictate midfield. He's going to have a harsh time. Well, he's going to have a harsh time against Bentancur and Højbjerg if that is the starting 2. But also, we're going to have a tough time against their midfielders. So I think just need to be careful about Ruben Neves. For me, he's probably there. I would say he is probably their most important player. Him, Podence, and Jimenez. For me, the 3 we kind of covered already. But take away the 4th player we're going to review, Andre.
Well, actually, before we even get to more specifics, since we were talking so much about our defenders, what do you think of their defense? They've got Cody, Dendoncker, Semedo. What do you think of those guys?
I don't think Semedo's as good as people say. Let's not forget he's a bit of a Barcelona reject. He can make a lot of clumsy mistakes. He reminds me a little bit of a Serge Aurier in a way. Like he makes a lot of fouls. He makes a lot of he gives away a few penalties. I've seen. He's quick, obviously. He's decent. He's decent enough as a right-sided defender for them, but I just don't see him in that category of like Barcelona level players, if you like.
And then what do you think about Cody?
Solid centre back. Always been a pretty good fan of Connor Cody. He's played for England before. He's a no nonsense centre back, quite a classic English centre back. Wins a lot of aerial balls. Just a solid player and a leader as well. I believe he's their captain. So
yes.
Yeah, he's just a leader at the back and throughout that team. So it's not someone we need to watch out for, but I think he is quite a hard defender to break down.
Yeah, I guess we'll see how he fares against Son and Kane, to be honest.
Yeah.
But just thought it would be good to look at them because obviously those names are a little more known than Southampton center backs for sure. And Semedo, obviously the Barcelona reject, but it's not fair to just call him a Barcelona reject because he has had some good performances. But unfortunately, I think the highlight that sticks to me is as a Canadian, obviously when he got completely turned around by Davies in the Champions League a few years ago while he was at Barcelona.
Yeah.
So I mean, we'll see if we have a player who can do that to him this tomorrow.
Yeah, it's a good point. I like that. Last player. Who we got? Who are we saying we wanted to? Obviously, we've already reviewed kind of in a way a couple more in Connor Cody.
How about Hwang Hee-chan?
Yeah, Hwang Hee-chan. Obviously, 4 goals this year. Only 15 appearances, which is a 0.34 goal conversion rate every 90 minutes. He's played only 268 minutes this year. He's scoring every 268 minutes. He's only had 7 shots and scored 4 times. That's pretty impressive. That's a goal conversion rate of 57%, by the way. So 7 shots, 4 goals. That's pretty impressive. And his shot accuracy is 71%. And this guy's a menace. He's very quick. He's very much a big problem for these defenders he plays against. What are your thoughts on him?
I mean, I was, to be fair, I was really surprised when he made the move because wasn't he playing for Leipzig before?
Leipzig, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I haven't seen much of him, but the fact that he's got 4 goals on him, definitely someone to look out for. I mean, any striker that goes in there, you always got to look out for them. And when it's us, especially the way that we give them opportunities, we should be looking out for him. So.
Yeah, definitely. This is a really good point from Simply Ace. It says Wolves have only conceded 17 Premier League goals, which is the 2nd best, and they can defend a lot better than us. I see this as a low-scoring game. We're struggling at the moment to find our rhythm. they don't score a massive load of goals, but they also don't concede a lot of goals. They're involved in a lot of 1-0s. I think it's a really good point.
Yeah, very true.
Trincao, it's actually one I didn't jot down to cover. He's played 20 games, 1 goal this season.
One goal.
20 shots, however. 20 shots, only scoring 1 goal, which is obviously a 5% goal conversion rate. And his shot accuracy is 50%, so pretty impressive. But, 1 goal in 20 games
matches.
with 20 shots. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's not the best stats. Definitely always look out for him too, though. But
Yeah,
yeah,
he was good. He was good last year. I was just gonna grab his stats. Obviously, former he's on loan from Barcelona. Let's
yeah.
not forget. And last year in the La Liga, he got 3 goals in 28 matches, 2 assists. This year, his only goal has come in the EFL Cup. So he hasn't scored in the Premier. He hasn't assisted. I just don't think. I don't believe he starts many games. Someone in the chat might be able to tell me this, but I just don't believe he's sort of someone we need to properly worry about tomorrow. I'm going to regret saying that. I know. I'm going to regret saying that.
Watch that. Yeah.
But yeah, let's quickly cover up the head-to-head records between Spurs and Wolves now, and then we'll get into some score predictions. So get ready to put your score predictions in the chat if you're still watching, guys. So Wolves are on the back of 2 losses, one of which was a loss at home to Norwich, 1-0, which is a big loss for them, and the other one was a 1-0 loss at home against Arsenal, and like you said, with 10 men Arsenal for a lot of that game. So they're coming off the back of 2 losses. However, before that, they won against Man United. Then they won against Sheffield United in the FA Cup 3-0. By the way, they beat Man United 1-0 away at Old Trafford. They then beat Southampton 3-1 in the league at home. And then they beat Brentford 2-1 away. Great results all round. So 4 nice wins on the bounce. But like I said, 2 losses since then, 1-0s at home. I personally think we need to be careful here because they'll want to bounce straight back after those 2 losses, especially at home. When they've lost 2 on the bounce at home, they'll be raring to go. They know they've got it in them to win games. I think this is going to be a tougher game than we think, and we've got to just anticipate that based on our poor performance against Southampton as well. But before I get your thoughts on Dre, the head-to-head records is an interesting one. So since 2018, there's been, again, a lot of games, a bit like the Southampton game, where there was both teams scoring. Wolves 2, Tottenham 3 in 2018. Tottenham 1, Wolves 3 in 2018. So already there was a 3-2 and a 3-1 win, 3-2 win for Spurs and a 3-1 win for Wolves. Then we beat them 2-1 in 2019, and then we lost 3-2 at home. I remember that one at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. That was just about, I think that was the last game before the pandemic, actually, at home with fans. That was on the 1st of March 2020. I remember that. I think Jota scored in that game, and yeah, we really played poor that game defensively. Then we drew 1-1 at Wolves. Then we beat them 2-0 at home. And then the last 2 games have been a 1-0 win away, which was, I believe that was that Kane or Lucas that scored in that game. But then 3-2 Spurs was the last head-to-head, which was in the EFL Cup, if you remember rightly. And I think that one went all the way to penalties, and we won on penalties in the EFL Cup in September. So a lot of goals scored, actually. A lot of goals scored. A lot of times both teams score. For me, I'm going to kick things off on the score prediction. And like I said, guys, get your score predictions in below. But I'm going to go for, based on what I've just said there, based on their form, based on the head-to-head records, I'm going for a nice 2-1 Spurs win. I say nice. It will obviously be a sketchy one. But I just see a 2-1 tomorrow. I think we'll bounce back. I don't think it'll be pretty. I think Wolves will cause problems. I think they'll get 1 goal. Maybe even Wolves might score first. And I think we'll turn it around and win 2-1.
I'm going to go with a 3-2. I think it's going to be a pretty... I think our defense might not. They're going to let in a few players to score there, but I think that we're also going to take last game by the horns and really go for it and get some goals in there. So 3-2 for me for us to win.
Okay, we got some score predictions going. You're going 3-2. I'm going 2-1 Spurs. We've always got to stay positive. But Mars says he reckons we'll play a 3-4-1-2. Lloris, Romero, Sanchez, Davies, Reguilon, Bentancur, Højbjerg, Doherty, Kulu, Kane and Son. He's going Kulu, Bentancur, and Doherty to come into that team?
I mean,
will he make that many changes? 3 changes?
I mean, the thing is, Kulu, he's been slowing the game down a lot whenever he's on, so I don't know if he would be the guy to start. But we'll see. That would be interesting to see him start. Maybe bring on Lucas Moura as a super sub and get that speed going at the end.
Yeah, maybe. Good points. I can certainly see Doherty and Bentancur coming in. I'm not so sure about Kulusevski yet. I don't think he's quite got that wow factor yet. Simply Ace, after me saying being positive, he's gone for a 2-1 Wolves win. Wolves are much more organised. Plus, defensively, we struggle to handle any sort of pressure. Wow, man. And it's great that Spurs fans are mainly positive, but this team has killed me, lol. They really have killed you mentally, man. Wow. 2-1 loss. You just predicted a 2-1 loss. At the end of the day, I'm not saying you're wrong, but I thought we'd keep the positivity. But I like your realism. I like your honesty. But for me, I think we've got to turn it around tomorrow. I don't think there's any other options. Alex Hilton. I'm going to start calling you Alex Steak Hilton, if that's all right, because every time you join, you put steak. It cracks me up. He's going for a 2-0 Spurs, keeping a clean sheet based on that absolute dross performance on Wednesday night. But I love the positivity, Alex. 2-0 is a very, very likely scoreline. And Miles is saying now Kulu as a centre mid will suit us better. Wow, that's a whole nother chat. That's another discussion for another day, Miles. But I do like the fact you like this Kulu guy. I think he is versatile. I think he can play as a second striker and maybe even as a winger, and maybe even as a forward playing centre mid. Who knows? But guys, that is all we have time for. Andre, thanks so much for running through those stats and player reviews with me. I thoroughly enjoyed it tonight.
Oh yeah, always happy to be here. Thanks for having me on again.
No worries. You don't need to thank me for coming on. You're basically the permanent co-host. I should be saying thanks for joining me as always, like I do. But I get your point. And guys, thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you have a wonderful Saturday, whether that's getting a takeaway, having a drink with your mates, whatever you're doing out there, or maybe simply just chilling and waiting for the game tomorrow. Wherever you're watching it tomorrow, enjoy the game. We will obviously be reacting live after the game, after the match. So catch us there at 4 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. Andre, you'll be there, won't you? Waking up very early.
Well, I'll try. It's an early game for me.
It's a 9 a.m. kickoff for you. Simply A says, great show, Comedy Spurs. And like I said, guys, make sure you hit a like button. Hit the like button on this video, subscribe if you're new, and check that community section to know exactly when we go live and everything information on this channel. And we'll catch you tomorrow at 4 p.m. UK time for the rundown of that Wolves game, hopefully discussing a win. But guys, and also before I go, I will be on the Irish Hotspur channel tomorrow, co-hosting with Jack Kinnicky on the preview for the Spurs Wolves game on the Irish Hotspur. So come and support me over there, guys. Always love going over there, and there's always a huge audience over there, sometimes like 500-600 people. So make sure you check it out over there. And guys, have a great evening, and we'll see you tomorrow. Come on, you Spurs.